Really? He's got good moves. The hotline. Is that a zebra guitar? Is that a zebra? This is so weird.
But it is my head. You are such a weirdo, Jesse.
The hiss are done. Well, almost done. It is time to put an end to this once and for all. Guys, welcome back into Control for what I believe is the finale, at least of the main story. But stick around because you bet your bottom dollar we're definitely going to be checking out the DLCs as well. Thank you guys for coming along with me on this adventure and getting to embrace and enjoy the world of Control along our Remedy-verse deep dive in the past couple months. Thank you, and let's get started. Action. It is time. The hiss is here. Transmissions being corrupted, rewired. Reddish yellow what? The reddish yellow what? Are we ready for this? Slide projector, collectibles. Unread. Dynamite. Oh, this was hit the song. This was now we can watch Dynamite all the time. That's cool that you can watch it at other points in time too, because I know we kind of glanced at that and I felt like the last 30 minutes, ever since we went on to the mission of Take Control, I felt like it flew by, and that's why I'm actually really glad I did take a beat, because I just sat in that for a second. Like after I turned off I stopped recording, I just sat here and I was like, what just happened? In the nightmare, as the hiss burrows into her mind, Jessie discovers that Trench, the first to be corrupted by the hiss, was the one who let it in. Even with Hedron dead, Jessie finds the power of Polaris within herself. She banishes the hiss from her mind and goes to the nostalgia department to shut off the slide projector. So the way at least I internalized it was, or to understand it, was the Hedron. It was like it was this thing that felt like Polaris, and especially for her, she thought it was her, but I think it was really just this physical form to make us feel more comfortable, right? Like we talk about this, names have powers, forms have powers, and I think that the idea that something is an object, much like the altered items, much like places of power, objects of power, all of these things, the oops, it's much easier to grasp an understanding of something that is tangible. And yet when we got there, it was like we got to see behind the curtain, for lack of a better word. And it was the realization that that was really not her. And all along, she is a part of us. And to me, I felt like she didn't really have a tangible form. Like Polaris was Polaris to us, which is a part of us now. Like whatever we started in Ordinary began all of this. And I don't know if by shutting off the slide projector, I would assume that we would then lose Polaris as well, but I feel like also Polaris is this power that she's had, obviously gives her Hedron abilities like anti-hiss, like she's able to fight it, but I think it's part of this catalyst. It's really like the catalyst to help you overcome the hiss burrowing into you, and she almost like needed that to realize her own strength, kind of. And I could be completely off on this. This was just like my personal interpretation on it, because I felt like it was her claiming this power, her being like, you know what, like I can take over this. And I honed in, especially when I was just sitting in silence after the last episode. I just thought about how powerful it was that she accepts that she doesn't have to understand it. She might never understand it, but that's okay. And that's one of the hardest things in life, is to let go of that control. We think that if we control all of the variables and, you know, measure things and data, like we're so obsessed with things that make us feel like we're in control. But the reality is there is much that we are just not in control of, and also at the mercy of. And sometimes it's that illusion of control. I think the illusion of control and illusion of choice is sometimes just as important, which is why I felt like the Hedron represent an illusion more than anything else. All right. It's time. What weapons do I have? Okay. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I don't want it to be over, and I know that we have DLCs, and we have so much more to explore, guys. I want to find more of the secret rooms.
My sister had this dream. A bad dream. And the whole world was dreaming with her.
Dylan?
She'd convinced herself that she was awake. She's always been stubborn. I knew I had to end her dream. I had to wake her up. I had to rip down the poster she'd been staring at. Cut off her eyelids to make her see. To save her.
The dream of control. I also had this harrowing thought that it was almost reversed, and the people that had the Hedron and everything, like it was almost flip-flops, and they were stuck in this trance. Yeah, and it was actually that the Hiss were awake, and you've been imagining that the Hiss are the bad guys this whole time, but it was really the Hiss were truly, wow, okay, let's go. I just thought about how it could be flip-flops. That thing. The stuff, whenever we die, whenever... The projector.
You all walk through time. The thunder song distorts you. Happiness comes, white girls, but yellow and red in the eye.
I know he's still there somewhere. Locked inside. I know, because that's how it was for me.
Yeah, and she was small child. Endgame dictates special transmission allocation. Director, prepare for power boost. Redirected feed. Every for necessary consumption. It's like the inverse pyramid, yeah. Look what's been built up. It's the red coming to meet the black pyramid. But look, the foundation is different. Like that is one stable piece that cuts into it. It's clean, it's sharp. The other is jagged and formed of multiple parts stacked on top of one another. Flimsy. Flawed. It's like the astral plane. Oh, level 30? Level 30. I think we might have skipped a couple levels. I think they're gonna keep spawning, so we gotta keep moving. Oh, man. use some of that stuff. I wouldn't mind going down there. They're coming up though. They're no match for my powers on the bright side. Here we go. There's a sniper. See if I can preempt it. Oh! Okay. We need the next part. I need to be taken elsewhere. Oh, shoot. Oh, it must be because there was another. There's multiple. There's a healer. Or he might have just been a medic. No, there's a healer. Where? Where is our... I saw it move for a second. Let's make sure none of them are coming up on the... Recharge, recharge. Have these near us while we recharge. There we go, healer down. Alright, recharging. Okay, recharge. Yeah, I think they're gonna keep respawning. I need to go to the next path, but I don't think I can. And we're spawning. Maybe it really is just like a fight fest. Recharge, recharge, recharge. One down. Wow. So many different items. There, I think we're getting... Maybe... I heard something shift. But I can't fly over there. There's something that I'm missing. It might be this way. Yeah, I must be missing where I'm supposed to be heading. Recover, recover, recover. And launch. That was good. It's not down here. There. We're through. Next time. Oh, great. Wait till they come up over here. Recharge. Okay, I've got 3 and a body. Three things swirling. We're getting closer. Shots from somewhere. Let's move. What? How did you get over there, sir? Keep moving down. I love this move. This was the best investment. Rocket? Where? Up top? Oh, bodies. Bodies, bodies, bodies. There we go. Ooh. There we go. Let's go grab that stuff. I don't want to fall, whatever we do. Yeah, we can do that move too. Come on, Dylan. It keeps moving closer. Okay, let's go. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I gotta find that thing. Recharge. Look for a swarm of power. I see it. It's coming up here. There it is. Nice. Where is it? Oh, I think I might have killed it. Got him. Almost. I know I haven't been using my weapons. I think that might have been the first time I used my weapons. The 3, it's too strong. Target all 3. And send. Recharge. Okay, now we actually have to use it. I feel like I'm almost overpowered. I'm not really getting the sense of a challenge right now. But I'm gonna eat those words, I guarantee it. That's a screecher. Screecher. Oh. Gosh, they burst in like one hit. Okay, keep moving. There's another screecher. Let's go down here. I love the beat, like going up like that. Okay, keep an eye out. 3 that way. High energy source. Or, oh, he's one of the ones that has the guarded. Yeah. Something behind me. Sensed it. Oh! Whoa, I think I was so close there. Ow! Ow! Maybe one of the more terrifying parts about the game is even when you feel like you're crushing it, if they hit you at the right spot or with the right item, you can get smacked. What the heck? Sir? Please. Oh. Oh gosh. Okay. Huge power source. Got him. Stay behind here. Let's run this way. All of this red. Oh my goodness. Okay, see what I said? We gotta get over to our heals. Health pieces. Woo! All right, let's recharge. Let's go over here. That guy. Recharge all of this. Ew, not the lanky body. He's up above. Let me see if I can get the angle on him. There. One more coming down the middle. And boom. More. Dylan. That's it. That's it. The way forward. We're so close. Maybe that's what's happening, is maybe he's still able to fight it to a certain extent. That's why it hasn't taken him in the same way that the other Hiss have succumbed to it. Like, he still has something that's holding on the way that we were stuck in a loop too, but he hasn't been able to completely take it back over. I think because, again, the way that I was, you know, I was left, but I wasn't poked and prodded and held in captivity and held by control no matter what promises they made. I think that the Hiss are able to like take that and twist that knife further into him, and thinking that I abandoned him and everything, like because of all of that, it's taking a stronger hold on him, but he still hasn't completely given up. Dylan.
You are home. You are wonderful home. You've taken your boss, you.
Dylan's in a coma. I don't know if there's anything of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way back. The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. We're in this together. You and I.
Holy cow. James. Matthew. Wow. I think these are the real end credits. I don't think this is another dupe, right? Wow, wow. Man. That was good. That was good. So this must lead up into there's going to be another one, right? There has to be another one. And I think I've even heard whispers. I do want to say I've heard whispers of you guys talking about how there's another one in development and everything. And so the fact that they left that open-ended, I really like that. I'm going to keep it playing while we kind of talk about this. Y'all know I love to roll all the credits and everything. Gosh, yeah, for some reason, obviously I kind of left us on an extreme. That might be the worst cliffhanger that I've ever left us on in the history of this channel. But now we can also dive back in and get into like DLC work. And I would assume that the DLCs didn't necessarily, I'm almost looking at it maybe like the cadence that they did with Alan Wake, where, you know, at the end of Alan Wake, he's like, it's not a lake. It's an ocean. And then it like cuts out and it's you being like, oh, there's gonna be more, and I felt like that was so much the case here, where she's like, she's claiming now she didn't want it. She didn't want people to call her Director FADEN. She didn't want this. And then she was like, no, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, this is my position here now, and you're gonna help me with that and everything. And so once again, it was kind of claiming a piece of the narrative. I do think that the DLCs will maybe kind of fit into the story and add more context, kind of like those 2 bonus episodes in Alan Wake did. But I think largely most of this, we're not going to get all of those answers. I think those are going to be answered in a future game, which, fingers crossed. I can't imagine that they didn't. I would think they went into production fairly quickly after, because to my knowledge, this one was fairly successful, at least based off of word of mouth. This is the game from the Remedyverse. This and Alan Wake, obviously Max Payne. I think Max Payne has now talked more about in circles of people that played it as a kid. But depending on when you were born, your exposure to gaming industry and everything like that, it kind of is more based off of that. I do think that I hear more largely people talk about Alan Wake and Control, which is fair. I think now that Max Payne, as the remakes are coming out and things like that, I'm really excited because I think more people will get to experience those. And if you guys came along with me on those stories and adventures, there were Easter eggs and there's just little nuggets that Sam Lake throws into all of the works that he does, whether you've played all of them or not. It's just really cool to see the works that come from him and his brain and the brilliance behind all of the Remedy games I've experienced so far. That being said, yeah, I'm thinking that this one was one of their more successful ones, and so I'm really hoping that we hear something or an update on that sooner than later. I know a lot of you guys had to wait a long time for Alan Wake 2, and I talk about this in the grand scheme of a lot of gamings nowadays. Games take so long to come out with the sequel that many of us have moved on to a whole nother decade. We're a decade older. We're like you're in a whole nother life stage. And I will say it's easy to look at that and maybe gripe at it, or maybe be like, oh, I'm not captivated like I once was. But now there's something kind of cool about that, because when that release does happen, remakes of Max Payne, Control 2, whenever that happens, Alan Wake 2 when it released, you can't tell me it didn't bring back a little bit of nostalgia, and it makes you feel like a kid again in some way. And so I'm always of the mind that however long it takes to make something a quality product, take all the time in the world. You know, you can never know if at that point in your life, whenever the next one comes out, if you're going to have time for it. I think that's something that is clear to all of us, is we only have a finite amount of time, and you know, like, things ebb and flow in our lives. But I hope that everybody kind of holds on to whenever a sequel comes out, to keep that kind of place of childlike wonder alive and excitement. And I know that's why a lot of us watch other people's playthroughs too, is to get to see and experience again, like, it's the closest you get to reliving a game for the first time through somebody else's eyes. And so thank you guys for choosing to come along with me on my playthrough of this game. I am so happy to have gone back and done the Remedy-verse in a closer span of time than when I first did Alan Wake. And at this point, you guys will have seen also I uploaded my Alan Wake's American Nightmare as well. And so as you guys can tell, once we finish the DLC and I feel like I've done everything I want to do with this game, then we will move on to Alan Wake 2. And then I guess I'll be in the same boat as you guys. I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to be waiting with you guys. And I actually look forward to having the privilege to be in that position of waiting for the next thing to come out. It is such a privilege to get to do this and get to bring you guys the playthroughs, and to just get to have the time to play as many games as I get to, and share those adventures with you guys. So I definitely have a lot of thoughts for this one. I will say that the story is incredible. I think the story works well when you're, I wouldn't say dilly-dallying, but the last 2 episodes felt like they flew by. From Polaris mission to Take Control, those 2 things flew. Oh, I love it. The Remedy pets. Oh, Frank the cat. Princess Buttercup. Did you see that? There was one time in a Star Wars, it was when I did Star Wars Episode 3 for Christmas time. There was somebody who proposed through the credits, and I thought that was the cutest thing in the world. Again, video games just making it so wholesome, and oh, it was so cute. But yeah, kind of going back to, I think there is going to be an after credit scene, but going back to all of this, I do think that the game works really well when you create a good cadence to it. I think because I put so much into exploring, and because I'm a bit of a nooks and crannies creator that likes to try to find as much as oh, there we go. Okay, we have a bunch of stuff to kind of click on. You were the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. The crisis is not over. Your work is not done. Ah! Okay, so it's like a mini end. It's like a soft end to the game. But yeah, kind of to finish up on the main. So let's just talking about main part of the story and everything. Oh my goodness, I gotta go get my blazer. I gotta switch off my leather jacket and put the blazer on. Yeah, no, I think that for me, the last 2 chapters felt rushed in comparison to everything else, because everything else was a lot more of an exploration kind of period. That could have been too, because I chopped them up. I think up until that point, every single episode, you guys were getting a full mission in its completion, though there is no good pause point between Polaris and Take Control, unless you were to like put a pin in it when you get taken over by the hiss. That would have probably been a better place to end on. Regardless though, I think that it was excellently structured. First of all, music is phenomenal. The characters are really what's the right word? Not palatable. You just keep wanting to know more. They're very interesting, but you know that there's kind of like a secret behind all of them. I feel like they all have this desire for knowledge, but desire for control. You look at that with Dr. Darling. You know, it was his own desire to, I think he did care more about understanding than controlling, but I think he did absolutely use his position to control a lot of things in a bureaucratic way within the Bureau. But I do think that his love for the science and for discovery was what drove a lot of his decisions, ultimately what cost him his life, right? Which I'm still like, I still don't know. Is he really dead? Like, is he really, really dead? And then we also know that the director himself was vulnerable and became the thing that let the hiss through the door. Now, dissecting the director's character a little bit more, and I know we have some hotline stuff as well, one of the things that constantly struck me was his conversation about how the bureau was all he had left. It was a director's one line. I'm sure this sticks with all of you guys, and if you've been in my streams recently, I've been using it left, right, and center. I love his line, if the director keeps the lights on. Right? It's the director's job to keep the lights on. But sometimes I think he did have a team he trusted, and I think it was the hiss that started corrupting his perspective and opinions about his staff and the people that he did trust. But I also do think that the director's job, in the way that he created it and he handled it, was very much a single point of failure. Like, there was you do have the hotline, you have these people helping you and things like that. But I think that he also ended up being, I think he said it one time where he's like, the only person you should fail is yourself. And I think in his spiraling into the bureau becoming the only thing that mattered to him, because he talks about it, he lost his wife, he lost his daughter, and then in turn I think his wife left him, and so he lost his family, and then his job became everything to him. And honestly, I don't think I can fault him for that, because in this position, I've been thinking about it, being in a situation like this, like, yes, we know, alphabet soup agencies, and there's always secrecy, and there's all these, people that you never know. Like, there's tons of people that have to work with secrets all the time, all the day. Like, there's very important jobs out there constantly. When you're talking about this bureau, it's got to devour you. And you see that in some of the manuscripts or pages that you read throughout it, is some of the employees, they either get caught up in it, spiral in it. It's like, it's interesting, but you're pretty much working in a hostile work environment all the time, right? Like, it's a hostile work environment, but not in the traditional sense. Hold on. My nose. Yeah, not in the traditional sense. Like, the house itself is constantly shifting. And I think that it very much can devour you. I feel like it's a house that is ever changing, but always consuming people that work in it, consuming various things. I mean, you're talking about altered items. You're talking about like things that most people don't even want to get into a conversation about, because they're uncomfortable with not just the thought of the lack of control, but the thought that we are such small potatoes in comparison to the whole world and to the grand scheme. The existential thought and dread of it all, I suppose. It's a different take on it. I have enjoyed getting to go through these games so much, because it's really opened my eyes to more of the paranatural, supernatural kind of conversation and everything. I talked about it in, I think, even the previous episode. I just didn't really grow up kind of exploring this conversation and this narrative and these thoughts and beliefs and things. And so it's been very informative and eye-opening and fun. It's been like something new that I feel like I'm learning to keep space with for myself, in terms of like how a story could go and the mystery of it and everything like that. So I really like Jesse's character. I like any story that talks with family, like through family, whether that is the family that you're blood related to or the family that's created through life events, because I find it to be incredibly relatable. I myself have brothers, so I think it really tore me up seeing those dynamics between her and her brother. And I can only imagine her guilt, like the internalized guilt, and how long it took her to, one, discover him, but she probably every single night had terrors about how she felt like her brother would think that she abandoned him back in Ordinary, even though she did what she thought was best in the moment. And then to know how he thinks of her now, then to finally discover him and see that he's been consumed by this hiss. And he was vulnerable. I mean, like, he wasn't nurtured with love, right? Like, no matter what, they talked about promises of director and things like that. And I wonder when they were dangling the conversation about director, because we still need to get into the nitty gritty of like, why did he not get picked for that? Why did he end up not being a prime candidate? And I wonder if the decision by Well, I wonder, was it Dr. Darling's decision that he was no longer good for that? Because I kind of saw it as the fact that he was susceptible to the hiss, which made him not a prime candidate. And somebody who, but the person who let the hiss in the first place was a director. So I guess only, like, honestly, when I'm thinking of that conversation in my head, I'm kind of like, I mean, by those rules of logic and things like that, having like a strong mind and things like that, the director himself kind of failed himself on that part. Man. Let's say that I don't think he just failed himself. I think he did fail the whole of the house, because now Jesse has to come in and clean up and show face and everything. So that's a whole nother interesting thread of thought. So what I say we do is let's continue on with exploring the DLCs, exploring the house. You guys have given me lots of cool tidbits on where I could look, or I know a lot of you guys were telling me to go back to the synchronicity lab, and I'm doing some of the things that I did do in the last episode, but I'd like to kind of explore that even further. And I think what I would like us to do is eventually look up all of the hidden spots. I want us to try to max our ability points. This is one of those games that now that we're on the flip side of the main story, I want us to take our time just like we did in the main story. But more than that, I'm not going to be doing like achievement hunting in that regard, but I do want us to try to see as much as possible before we do put the game down, because I don't see myself being able to get around to a second playthrough anytime soon. So let's make it a really good, thorough first playthrough. We'll probably start with doing a Dark Place mission. I know that there's 2 DLCs, but I think since we already kind of engaged with that one and it's Alan Wake based, I think that would be a fun one to kind of go down. But we'll start by exploring. There's still some areas in the house that I'd like to be able to free float around in, and we are going to pick back up with watching and listening to the tapes that we just got. So the adventure has not even closely ended. We still have much to do. But those are my initial final thoughts on everything. I loved the characters. I loved the story. I really liked the cadence with the side missions. Thought all the side missions were a lot of fun, diverse, enjoyable, combat, insanely good, sound design, phenomenal. Again, as long as they continue to have Poets of the Fall, Old Gods of Asgard, you got me. You got me. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and get into it. All right, our work is not done. Look at Jesse. Oh my goodness, be still my beating heart. What is this? I like this. Executive board countermeasures and bureau alerts to fight the ongoing hiss threat. Search the dangerous steps of the oldest house for classified bureau secrets and hidden clues. I am here for this. All right, so we've got a couple collectibles to read. I'm the director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Now, is this a different photo than the one that we saw everywhere? Or all of the photos of us as the director, the house knew? Did the house know that we would come into our own with our position? I don't know. Let's see the board first. The hiss is removed, silent from the astral plane. You have proven beaten the not you. We tolerate you very much. You are prepared, you are unprepared. For what comes next? We will speak again. In the future, in the expansion. Good work, good victory, Director. Now I had a different thought. Sometimes the way that they talk makes it sound like one of the versions is talking to Jesse, but the other one is talking to us as the player. You know, like using words like expansion or using the phrase the game. I don't like that. Endless grind.
My reflection trapped in the darkness of the coffee I nurse. Rain turns the lights of the city into a mosaic on the windows. The day's paper lists all the things wrong in the world. The list grows longer by the day. The difference between the morning and the night. Coffee. Whiskey. No other difference. The alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It feels like I just closed my eyes. It's dark. I sit up on the bed in the gloom. I get up, I shower. The driver waits for me downstairs, takes me to the oldest house. An old man stares at me in the car window. It's raining. It's dark. Late at night, he brings me back here. It's not a home. It's a room where I sleep in, waking up just as tired as I was before going to bed. Endless grind.
The endless grind is probably pretty relatable for quite a few people. The slide projector. Containment procedure redacted. The object is a blank with a vertical tray. The object creates blank. See Dr. Darling's presentation 26.1 for more details. The only blank to successfully produce this effect resulted in the capture of blank. See Dr. Darling presentation 26.3 for more details. Object has not been successfully bound. The para-utility of this object does not require binding. Discovered when the Bureau responded to blank blank. See AWE 24 case file for more information. Many of the accompanying blank were blank. See files on P6, P7 for details. My brother and I. The entirety of the blank was transported to the Bureau for examination to find additional slides or other altered materials. The entirety of the scrapyard. Also acquisition date redacted, containment location redacted. Redacted, redacted, redacted. I simultaneously love games that let you continue on after you have finished the main story, you know, when there's much work to be done, especially in the case of having expansions and things like that. So I like that, you know, it's like, I like how it's even wound into the story. It's a part of it by knowing that there's, you know, there's much more work to do. There's still more. 30, 36. Ditch it. Well, I think we have some points to spend, guys. I love that hair clip. Now, what's curious about that is that it's the triangle going up versus the triangle going down, the black pyramid going down. It's a gold clip, of course, but it's still in the position where it's coming up to meet the black pyramid, the upside down. And then the fact that her hair is red as well. I don't know, it's like the hiss, the red triangle. So the office has officially changed to reflecting things of us. Up until this point in the story, it still was really Trench's office. So they've cleaned up the blood. We see slight differences. Is that a Hedron? I think it is. We've got the clock. Well, a clock. I'm not saying it's the... Why am I seeing the mailroom, though? Isn't that the mailroom? Magnifying glass, a globe. Various rocks. Well, the black rock, specifically. Our own photo. No photos of Dylan and I. A cute little couch. Let's see what's different. Oh, we still have a...
Shawshank Redemption.
What?
That's the name of the movie I was thinking of earlier. Not important, but that was it.
Wait, when were we talking about a movie? I've seen Shawshank Redemption, but when were we Wait, when were we... Great film, but when were we talking about a movie? I've completely lost it. She must have been... I don't know. There's still a lot of stuff we need to... New mission, the Foundation. Talk to the board. Executive hotline chamber. Okay, that must... I wonder if that's our other new story. Okay, I am so here for this outfit. Oh my goodness. Jesse. You gotta do something different, dude. You keep staring at that. Oh, I got so excited for some reason, the trick of the eye. I thought that somebody had refilled the snack machines.
Heard the director stopped the hiss, right? Sounds like she can really handle things.
Finally, someone had the balls to take the fight to them. It's about time we had someone other than an old man at the helm.
Actually, I agree. She's beaten the hiss over and over. If we win this thing, it'll be because of her.
Dang. Love to see people having faith in you too. She's got that natural leadership. People believe in her. Based off of her actions, of course. Still action based.
Any luck finding the armory?
None. Looks like it got shifted. We have rangers checking each sector.
Fuck, whose side is the house on? Alright, we'll keep teams looking. And post a watch on the old location just in case it shifts back. We need that fucking ammo.
Maybe I can help?
I heard you closed the Hiss portal, or whatever it is we're calling it. And if we could just flush out the stragglers.
Yep. Are these all new? I think these are all new.
So, what's next for Simon Arish?
Well, first off, I'm banning all slide projectors. That's it. Seriously, though, we need to review our protocols. Research should not be making decisions that endanger the entire Bureau, fuck it, the entire fucking world, without some serious oversight.
I think Pope would agree. Certain people in the Bureau have been working in the shadows for too long.
Yep.
And I'd like to make these HRAs part of the mandatory Bureau uniform. They're not stylish, but better safe than sorry.
I don't think anyone will complain. Not after this.
I think especially because they're not, look, they would be annoying if you had to like take them off every time to use the bathroom or anything like that, but it's just over the chest, you know, it's not like you're taking your clothes off at work anyway, so I think that's perfectly reasonable.
What are your thoughts on me serving as director?
Well, I couldn't be more excited. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Trench was fine, but, well, you pulled us back from the brink, so... Well, I'm honored to serve, ma'am. I mean, fuck, shit. FADEN. Sorry.
He'll get it one day.
She's not even correcting him now. She's embracing it. She's embraced it. She's no longer pushing it away.
So, what's the situation in my bureau, Arish?
The sit rep.
The situation is we are still up to our eyes in Hiss. Not to mention the months of repairs it's gonna take just to get this place up and running again.
But is it doable?
Of course it is. You just might need to tell some rangers to grab a wrench once they're done hunting Hiss.
Yeah, some people are gonna have to really shift what the roles and responsibilities of their job are after this.
Did anyone ever mention to you that Darling was using the slide projector?
Well, Salvador never did, but I doubt he even knew. Look, I'm well aware that it's our job to study and contain the things that we don't understand, but well, some of the things that Darling did were way outside of our mission statement. Look, these things are not toys, and acting like they are is only ever gonna end one way. At least Pope seems to understand that.
Well, it's secure now. No one can reach it without my say-so.
But thank Christ for that.
Yeah, that's part of it too, is, and I hope I made this clear, I'm not saying that Dr. Darling was right for what he did or trying to explore or discover. Like, your discovery still cannot come at the cost of putting others at risk, especially like at his position of power within the Bureau. He needed responsibility, and even that was the problem, was I think the only person he answered to himself was Trench, and Trench was letting him kind of do whatever he wanted to do until it was too late. And so I think no matter how high your position is, you need to make sure that you still are keeping in check with what is best for the whole, not just for yourself, kind of thing.
Marshall's been missing for a while now.
Yeah.
Any ideas where she could be?
The last time I saw her was in maintenance when I was leading the Rangers out of the Atlas. Yeah, I told her it wasn't safe, but she said she had to go check on something.
Did you ask where she was going?
Marshall is not the kind of person you question. Kind of intimidating, you know? But, she was by herself, if that helps at all.
Not really, but thanks. Hopefully she turns up. I'll see you later.
You know where I'll be.
Thanks, Arish.
Hey, I found a file on the old director, Northmore. Didn't list any dated death. You know anything about that?
Could be an error.
No,
Record staff process a lot of data. Maybe
he has to be in the sarcophagus. That's it was called the Northmore sarcophagus, but he's got to be the thing that's powering up.
it just slipped through.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I think in the time that I noticed that, I was like, I didn't pick up on it, but especially now that they said there's no official date of death,
Now that
it
we're
has to
getting
be.
back on our feet, I should really talk to Arish about ration quantities.
It has to be. The jukebox. Anything in these files? I've already seen that. Oh, we need to go see Authy, guys. You might have a lot of fun stuff to say. Give him hell. All right, well, we've got quite a few points to spend. Not really, it will only be like 2 things we unlock. But still, you know, I like to think that that's a lot. So I could go into the melee, you know, like we could start putting into melee, which could make for some fun fights. I think at this point we're gonna be pretty strong. I'm gonna go ahead and finish out our levitation. And then that's another line that's complete. Man, you'd think that saving and blocking the hiss from entering anymore would result in more than 6 ability points. Actually, I think we only got 3 for that too. Because I think it maybe 4, because I already had 3. I don't know, it's okay. Okay, so next we'll start going for shield because I am starting to put into shield more. So we'll start going down that line. Outfits, what? Wait, why does this feel like even more than I normally have? I think there's more outfits. Civilian. Okay, that's what I've had. Janitor's assistant. Expedition gear. Did I really earn this many outfits? Wait, tactical response is new, right? I did have asynchronous, we saw that. Director's suit. Tactical we already had. Astral, I think we already had all of these. Wait, office assistant, I don't think we had. Office assistant. No, yeah, we never had office assistant. Golden suit, oh yeah. Grim options, to be fair. All of the options are perfect given the circumstance. I would assume that a lot of people do enjoy this one because it's giving Jedi feels. Look, we love a humble director, okay? We started from the bottom and now we're here. No, I like that. That's good. I don't have shifting fragments. I don't know what those are. Okay. The suit is nice, but I need to go visit Authy and talk to him. Also, let's go ahead and check out... Yeah.
Where are the files on parasitic entities I asked for?
I found a couple of relevant files in Dr. Darling's office. I'd have to dig through the archives for the rest, but I'm not going through the Panopticon. Not with the altered items loose.
Then go see if any
Wait, there's more altered items loose?
Ranger squads are available for a file retrieval mission.
Dang. Variants and alterations. Analysis of his threat part 5 by order of Director Jesse FADEN. His corruption manifests in vastly different ways. Some hosts remain largely unchanged, while others are barely recognizable as human. What determines this level of alteration? Is it the duration of corruption? It could simply be an evolutionary process, each entity representing a stage of growth in an undiscovered linear progression leading towards what? Additionally, his entities possess various paranatural abilities. How have they achieved this? Do they gain them from corrupting objects of power? Have they corrupted a single highly talented para-utilitarian and divided their access to paranatural abilities across the network of his corrupted hosts? As a scientist, I am hindered by the sheer number of questions. It's difficult to identify where one should begin. What is the most pertinent question? How do we kill it? That seems like a good start. Refer to file blank for full report. Talk to the board. Hey!
Jesse, good to see you. We've got Dylan situated in his containment cell like you asked. I've got medical staff running tests as we speak, and I'd be happy to walk you through the details later. Other than that, what's next?
With the slide projector turned off, the hiss are shut out, but we're stuck with the ones already here. We can't lift the lockdown until they're all eradicated. If any hiss ever got out, that would be the end of everything.
Well, eliminating them all will take time. Look, I'll do what I can on my end, but my research is progressing slower than I'd like.
I think I can help with that. I am making you the head of research, effective immediately. I want you to use everything the Bureau has, every resource, every confidential scrap of data, and find a way to keep the hiss out for good.
That's... really? I mean, yes, I can certainly... Yes! Yes, I accept.
Aww.
You'll do great. Besides, I didn't really have anyone else lined up.
She's so cute.
I'm honored, Jesse, really.
Thank you.
Aww. Wait, but we have more questions for her. Also, did you hear that? There must be a, yep, research his notes. Go to central research. So, I wonder if you even have the ability to get rid of all the hiss to begin with. Probably not. I wish there was a meter that would tell you.
I've looked through the docs we found in dimensional research. That slide projector is extremely powerful. You were right to shut it down.
Yeah. Understatement of the century.
How do you feel about me taking over as director?
You act like it just happened. You've been director since we first met, remember? I am still thrilled. Nothing's changed. Not for me. But the Bureau has changed. Trench and Darling are gone. Their knowledge, anything not written down, disappeared with them. They knew the Bureau better than anyone.
They're the Bureau's past, Emily. We won't operate like they did. We'll learn from their mistakes. We'll be better than they ever were.
We won't ever be like them.
I mean, we hope, right? We don't know the situations that will unfold.
When the hiss got into my head, I saw some weird things. I think Darling even spoke to me. Does that make any sense to you?
Empirically, no, but phantom voices as well as hallucinatory states are not uncommon here. And considering the forces that Dr. Darling was working with, he could have been transferred to a different plane of consciousness, physically or otherwise.
And that doesn't upset you?
Oh, very. And the fact that he hid those forces from me, it's infuriating. But Darling's dream was always to look beyond our reality. This time he may have taken a step too far, but as long as his consciousness can perceive his surroundings, I'm sure he's loving it.
Maybe Darling was just trying to protect you from the darker side of his work.
Fuck that. I'm not a child. Like, don't just assume I'm going to consider something morally repugnant.
Which it all was.
Which it all was, of course.
But still, I like her. I feel like she's also gotten spunkier as the, I don't know, as the games progressed. We do need to get to that node.
How was Dylan?
The same. I can't detect any hiss activity, but his physiology has certainly been altered by it. And I can't tell if his brain activity is genuine or simply the aftermath of the hiss, like spasms. Dylan could wake up tomorrow for all I know. I really can't say.
Oh.
Then I just have to wait for him. That's fair.
Like he was waiting for us.
He waited a long time for me.
Don't worry. We'll be monitoring him round the clock. If he wakes up, we'll be ready. I don't mean that in a hostile way, just... well, you know.
I hear you. My brother isn't exactly popular around here.
I hope one day he'll have the chance to change that.
Yeah.
So, there was a moment after Hedron died that I couldn't feel my powers. The hiss got into my head. Just for a moment.
So that explains the HRA outage. Before we knew what was happening, the hiss had us. They were in my head. I saw terrible things. I mean, I was about to go under forever when the hiss was pushed back. The HRAs had come back on. Dylan vanished afterwards, and we fought off the hiss that came after him. So if Hedron's death knocked out the HRAs, that means there must be a new local source for them to relay, which I'm guessing must be...
Polaris.
Me.
Or Jesse.
You.
Yeah, no longer Polaris, Jesse.
Hedron is dead, assuming that word even applies to a resonant-based life form. But whatever it awakened in you, the power you call Polaris, is still active. Or at least, that's what my instruments are telling me.
I don't think we're ever gonna understand all of this. And I'm okay with that. I'm just glad you're here with me.
That's good to know. Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, kind of going back to what I talked about at the beginning of this before we walked through, I feel like it was this physical, tangible thing that was supposed to make you feel comfortable rather than the reality of it could just be this entity has taken up a residency within our brain, and that's okay. Like, yeah, I mean, being okay with something that you don't know and have limited knowledge on intentions and otherwise, and also the fear that it could one day take over you entirely. I don't know, there's a lot to it, but...
I found Dylan attacking the astral plane and the board. What was he hoping to accomplish?
Huh.
The board.
Since they arrived, Hiss have been corrupting objects of power, which have an inherent link to the astral plane. Maybe their goal was to access the astral plane and the board itself.
That still doesn't tell us why.
His motives are a difficult thing to work out, but I have been digging through confidential files and noticed a strange gap in knowledge regarding the board. Looks like any data on them has either been deleted or was never gathered in the first place.
Then maybe it's time someone looked into that.
Maybe it is.
What if the board is just
I've
this...
got a bureau to run. See you soon.
It's a
Yes,
set...
ma'am, Director FADEN.
She's so cute.
Please, Emily. Not even as a joke.
Not even when I'm in a janitor suit. Maybe the board really is this just larger entity that keeps...
If the slide projector requires a slide to open dimensional doorways, then which is the object of power? The slide
Slides
or
or
the
the
slide
projector?
Or is the distinction itself a fallacy?
Is distinction itself a fallacy? Yeah, I'm thinking we want to head over to Central Research and take this out. I want to see if this ends up resulting in anything. Like, are we seeing a reduction in hiss the more that we take them out? Central Research. Yeah, like the board is this entity that's makes sure that all dimensions, everything stays within a certain set of rules and parameters, because there could be total collapse of all of every reality, every dimension, I'm just trying to make sense of the senseless, but like they are ensuring total destruction and dimension life itself doesn't end. Something of the sort. Oh. But some of these people are still taking over, so it's like that's not... Destroy the hiss nodes. Oh, that's what we're supposed to do. Okay. Easy peasy. Except that... one of them's up here. Oh, there is one always here. Hiss node. One down. I don't think doing these is really going to show us X amount out of, I don't know. I keep thinking that yada 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 is going to result in us seeing like a timer that says there's, oh my, okay, hold up. Some bad news bears has happened. The worst is upon us. That entity is right there. My first day as a director and I'm about to die. I don't want to die. Sir. I'm leaving him alone. Okay, we got that node. I wish that were the case, though. It was like, oh, you're officially done. You've cleared X amount of hiss nodes or hiss reactions. Okay, I think there's one in the cafeteria. Got it. Hero alert complete. But that doesn't exactly mean that we're good to go. Because I think the complete reduction of hiss is going to be tied to a main DLC mission, or you don't even see that till maybe the second game starts on us having cleared it all, but now there's another threat, something else behind one of those other doors. I keep going back to it, but it's like, yeah, there's the upside down black pyramid door, but what about the others? What about, yeah, I mean, take your pick. There's a spiral door that we think Alan Wake is behind. There's the sniper that's about to die. I gotta go. Is there anything up there? Oh, the yellow color is just not it for me. On that, I was just thinking about the suit, sorry. My brain ended up going over to the suit, but... that was lucky. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back. Are you serious right now? You guys really need to learn to give it a break. Let's go pick up all the stuff. Astral blips. We need to go figure out what happened to... what is that? We need to figure out what happened to... Marshall. Okay, so let's fast travel all the way back up here to Central Executive, and several different avenues we could take. We could keep trying to find those secret locations, we could keep going to some of the other areas, or we could go ahead and start doing a Dark Place mission. I'm kind of tempted to do that one. I really want to see how it ties into Alan Wake, but I think I do want to visit Autie as well first. So let's do a couple things. Seize accelerator. Get rid of that. And weapon mods, we're getting close to being maxed out. I'm gonna just delete 3s. We're getting so many 4s now too. Okay, Dark Place. Take the sector elevator to the investigation sector. I really want to see this, so yeah, we're gonna start it. Jessie receives a strange vision that mentions the investigation sector. She decides to look into the matter. 2 things before we go look into the matter.
No way this happened by accident.
1, we're gonna go check on my brother. 2, we're gonna go check on Autie.
The board arranged this to whittle down our numbers, to prepare.
Can't you just process these staff files quietly? I don't want to hear this.
She does talk about all of her ideas.
Marshall's coming back. It's not like her to be absent during a crisis.
Marshall's as tough as they come. You don't need to worry about her.
I hope you're right.
Dylan.
I'll be here waiting for you when you wake up, brother. If you wake up.
There's a part of me that feels like you can't even trust some of the people that work here, though. As if they'd unplug something in the middle of the night.
God duty is so boring.
There is a realistic feel to The Office.
The director shut it down.
The grumpies, the mumbling, the talking about how disgruntled they are about certain decisions. Ventilation. All right, because we didn't do we're gonna do a maintenance sweep. We do need to do a sweep through all of maintenance. Yeah, that's right. I haven't done a full sweep of maintenance. So let's actually go back to, we're gonna fast travel within maintenance, but we're gonna fast travel. I think this is pretty much the closest one to the elevator, right? Let me just go back here and make sure. I wanna go all the way back to, yeah, because this was the sector's elevator, but I have a crazy boost going on. Right, access corridor, go back up here. This is the next area that we haven't really done the full exploration of, the same way that we did with the first 2. There's the elevator. Is it just me or has that changed? Or has it always looked like that? Looky, looky. Well, it's a good thing that we... Wait. Whoa. This has got to be a secret area, right? Yeah, hidden location. Sick. It's a damn good thing that we went back to the beginning. Whoa. Cool. Where are we? Same thing. Always look up. Hey. That. But then there's also something on the body. And this place... Wait. Where are we on the other side of this? This court. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Cool. There's also, America Overnight episode.
America Overnight, broadcasting the truth no matter the consequence for 29 years and counting. Thank you for staying up with us. We've received an interesting letter here at the program. If you'll humor me, I'd like to read it. Dear America Overnight, I can feel myself becoming gigantic. It's constant. A growth in all directions, in each cell. Only when I measure myself, it says I'm the same height. I weigh the same weight. I've read that the universe is expanding. If that's the case, then 5'3" is taller than what 5'3" was yesterday. I feel it all the time. This expanding. I always have. I don't know why. Sometimes it's all I can do just to ignore it. People write about the universe expanding like it's happening slowly, but it's not. We were the size of mice yesterday. Now mice are the size of us, and we are the size that mice will be in 2 days. How long can this go on for? There must be an end, right? A limit? An edge? What happens when we reach it? Does anyone else feel this? Can anything be done? And that's signed Kate from Michigan. Well, how about it, America? Have you felt the universe expanding? Do you know how to stop it? Should we even try? America Overnight will be right back.
No, but I feel our attention span's shrinking. Okay, we got that one. Nice. So that's a good start to our exploration of the grand maintenance location. We've got maintenance, and then we've got 2 other sectors to explore as thoroughly as possible, and then we'll look up anything other, like any other missing locations. But there's more of the Bureau to explore within even just going to investigations. Whoa, I never went up here. See, this is why you always go back, and again, and again, and again. Economy. His life is in your hands. I do like the America Overnight. Threshold Remnant, energy boosters. There's so many that we could have found at way sooner. We just didn't look up enough. And this is one of those games where it would greatly benefit to write down anything that you hadn't seen before. Oh my goodness, we're getting so many. I'm gonna have to start deleting some of these. This one. Fan procedures. Before I clicked on it wrong. There's America Overnight episode, fan procedures. The oscillator. Panopticon Floor 1, Unit 15. Per archival mandates 8.a, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. Water placed on the item prevents it from exercising its thaumaturgical force. Go with me. Maturgical. It's like a magical kind of thing. Okay, anyway. Contained in possessed object gallery. Description: the oscillator, brand, electric standing fan with protective grill. The item in question robs the immediate vicinity of all oxygen. The range seems to be variable. While on assignment in Korea, foreign investigator Blank learned of the odd fatalities in the area. Blank visited the site of the most recent death. Superstitious locals blamed the electric fan. Blank seized the fan and placed it in a small room with a blank. The blank suffocated. The investigator booked 2 cabins on the SS Blank, one for him and one for the fan. That's freaky. A fan that sucks all of the oxygen out of the air? I mean, that's crazy. Anything else up there, you think? No? That's 2 secrets that we've already run into just within 2 seconds. We've been in here. Yeah, but just to check behind. Yep. Okay, that's discovered. We could go to the control room, but we're gonna circle back around to that. We're gonna start by just continuing to look up and going towards Auti. This area is massive, so I don't doubt that I've missed way more than just those 2 things too. But it's already looking good. On the bright side, we're finding things fairly quickly. That's the Black Rock processing plant. We've been over here. And there was nothing up here, right? I tried to look. Yeah. No. Alright, head over this way. Nothing down there. This we already checked out. Move! Let me just kill this guy. Nothing up there. Highly doubt we missed anything in here, really. This is like our most frequented space. Well, that's not good. Maybe up. Let him come down on the stairs first. Go. Nothing through there. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Yeah. We've been here many a times, but clearly not enough. Wow, some of these things are literally right in front of my face. I wonder how I do it all the time. How do I miss the most obvious things? Nice fridge. Wow, the maintenance sector has a really nice kind of, I like this area. More of the cards. Makes sense for like the break rooms and things. I still think there should have been a magic card. I mean, come on, like an altered item that's, I just want to direct things a little bit. There's nothing in this fridge. It was too perfect. But also I thought there'd be more in here. Something to read, something to do. Nothing there. You think on top of one of these? I'm like in between one of these, on top of one of these. No, I don't think so. Although this looks like a great spot to hide something. But nothing? This would be such a great spot to have a hidden area. Like even up there? Man. There was the spark there. This room here. Well, not room, but area that I always think looks like that one location in Max Payne. I cannot believe I missed. I've really been eating my words in the game recently. Okay. Feel good about moving forward. This is the shortcut. I'm just double checking. Sometimes just going up high, getting a different angle. Fragile. Especially now that we have max levitation, guys. Oh man. We can levitate per hours. Nothing in here that I didn't already check out. Going down here, this was carousel, right? Wasn't this the carousel altered item? Then I found this, which, yep, the threshold kids. Creepy. It's just them on repeat. Step in you, yeah, me. Oh gosh, I've been in this game too long. This should not become a part of my regular memory. No. This is like, ask me the plot of the whole, give me like a year from now. You could ask me the whole plot of Control and I will probably forget it. But give me 2 seconds and I will recite.
He's still gone.
He's still gone.
I get the feeling he had more of an agenda than he let on.
Altered item, toilet paper roll.
Did he already get what he was here for?
Multiple. It's spreading. It's spreading. So what if Auti was one of the board members? Like I'm just sitting here, I'm like, he had to have been one of the board members, right? Like a board member who took on a body and altered the game. Right? Like he altered the game by kind of giving us hints. But what's his big up? See, there's something else here. Where exactly are we? Okay, so there is some way to get over here. There's another pump station. Think about the pump station. There's something. Some secret passageway. Now that... Wait a minute. Wait, you don't think... Oh. Just kidding. Hidden location. Haha. It's always easier than it appears. Personal mods. That's less. We've got 2 ability points. What is that one? Well, I don't think it's anything. It might not be any of the locations that we can access. Oh no. Oh. Okay, we've gotten ourselves in a pickle. Whoa, check that out. There's 2. There's one above the other one. I better hope that I don't fall. Wait, no, it's not. Wait, what? No, yeah, no. This is where we came from. I'm crazy. Yeah, this is where we came from. I wonder how many total hidden locations there are, but I also haven't been keeping track of them. So I don't know. Like, I think even if I found a list of all the hidden locations, I'm not even sure if I would actually know which ones I had done and which ones I hadn't. All right, nothing up here, so let's keep pressing forward into our maintenance sector. We're gonna do all of maintenance, and then we'll do a dark place. And what's up there? No, I don't think there's anything up there. All right, let's take the elevator down. I think that's pretty much everything in that upper sector. Was there anything we missed? The main area, but we can explore that at another point in time. Yeah, all of these. The cleaning machines. Again, looking up, not seeing anything that we're missing entirely yet, and boom! All right, we're at the power plant. This is the largest area of maintenance. Now, it would be a good idea for us to start by, that's the elevator over there. Double check this shelter too. I think we should start double checking the shelters in case I've missed any ones that were corrupted. That's the elevator over here. That takes you to the coolant pumps. Why do I feel like... I guess we could take this path. Let's take this path. Did I miss anything up there? I think so. Yeah, because we're going down. Right, further down. Oh. Yeah. All right. Of course, hiss. But this looks like a good spot to have some secrets, and I guarantee we rushed through this, or, well, not rushed, but we were probably fighting our way through. So, I wouldn't put it past us to have missed something. Who's firing rockets? It's just rude. That's the furnace chamber. I do want to explore the furnace chamber's location, but I think I'm gonna wait until we clear this space. We've got quite a bit of source here. Look up, look at anything that, oh, that'll do. That'll do. Wait, is this the bottom of where we always are? Oh, I'm such a goofy goober. I know where we are. We're on the bottom level of the coolant. That's right. Because that's our big elevator there. I think we did find pretty much everything up there because I even got that. But we can go back down here. There might be some stuff on the bottom. We should go to the furnace. Where was that guy? Oh, wow. Stay bottom level. That was excessive. That was an overkill. I didn't mean to. Just had the wrong thing attached. Look for secrets. Secrets, secrets. I mean, you have this stuff here, but I think it's just gonna kick it back out, right? Yeah. And I think we did find the pipeworks over here. I'm pretty sure we found everything in the pipeworks, but I'll go back. I know there was one secret. There was one secret that we uncovered. Looking up. Up, up, up. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. I think this area is pretty much clear. Yeah, because we found that one. Okie dokies. And that's not gonna stay anymore. Tragically. And there wasn't anything we were locked out to up here, right? We do need to go back to the furnace. Pump station. Right, this location. There could have been something up here, maybe. This was like a whole... little bit of a puzzle area. I don't think that's a hidden spot. No, and then this led us down here. Executive hiss nodes. This is going where? Where are we going with this? Pump station. It's taking us all the way down. Where is this dropping us off? Different part of... There must have been something that I had to turn on or collect here, right? Could be something up there. Perhaps. Oh. Okay. Alright, I see that. How do I... Wait. Okay, that's not what I thought it was. I thought it was a box. But it's not. This is just the room upstairs. Right? Yeah, it looks like a box, but it's not. Okay. Back up here. Then we're gonna take that one path over to the furnace. Make sure we didn't miss anything over there. Look around the central coolant pumps. And voila. We'll be done with maintenance at that point. Furnace. This way, right? Furnace. Yes, furnace chamber. Okay, and I tried to go down there and I got killed, so we're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep on just pressing up. There were a couple things in the furnace, but I think I did get those. We have to handle the mold issue next. Oh my goodness. We did go back and re-explore Dr. Underhill's location, but it would be nice to just go talk to her again, if nothing else. Furnace area. I went back through to a lot of the furnace area. And we went up there and found that. Wow. I don't remember the furnace even being this bright. Man. We got over there. That one was unlocked. We got up there. We listened to that girl talk about how the furnace is alive. Well, it has to be, because why else would one of the furnaces be popping up in the yeah, why else would a furnace be popping up in the challenges? Furnace must have some some sort of, I don't think altered item or object of power. We have 2 points. Let's see if we can upgrade something. Hey, 2. Yes. Okay, we can do shield level 4. I think this is the only one that I'll have the chance to actually upload all the way. Or update, upload. Hold on. Something upgrade. There we go. All right, so now we're getting closer back to the NSC power plant. We were extremely thorough in the Black Rock Quarry, so I am gonna leave that one. I think we did a decent job exploring that. So at this point, unless there's a guide that tells us that we missed something in there, like a hidden area. That thing. Wait, hear me out. What if you took these TVs and fed it to the furnace? Is that crazy? But think about all of the other games that this has had us do. The synchronicity, all of that stuff. I think that this has a purpose, and it's to be fed. Right? Or did we already, was that part of us calming it down? No, we were feeding it crazy matter. This would be obscure enough to be in one of these games, don't you think? It's just crazy enough to find TVs. I don't know. There's another one in here too. Didn't I feed it? I think I actually fed it one of them. I fed it another one because there was one up there. And I fed it that one. So there's one more that I haven't fed it, which is up here, but I can't, or maybe, well, I can't seem to grab it and I don't know. There. Wait. Where did it just drop that? Where did that drop? It dropped into a hole of nothing. I've messed up. I'm looking for a TV. I think I might have messed myself up. But there's something there. Where is that? What is that? I should have just taken it over the dang fence. Where is that location? It didn't respawn. What? Why am I blocked out by a dang fence? Y'all, where, how must... there's something there. I just can't figure out how to get there. Maybe it will respawn. It's definitely down. I don't know where I am right here. I need a light. Wait! Wait, why did I see something there? It's like a false... Wait a minute, is that actually like a dead end? Guys, I think that's actually... I don't know. Something feels very suspicious about all of this. I don't like this. Those are a bunch of dead ends. This is frustrating. How do I get... I think I messed up. Give me the TV back! I should have brought it over! Wonder if I permanently messed that up. Or what if we... Okay, if we sit down at the control point, will it respawn there? Maybe that's possible. Let me see. Okay, we just loaded back. Let's see what happens. Because I know there was a TV, and I know that I fed it. Well, I'm pretty sure I fed it. No, it's not back. What is down there? There's pipes that are bursting. If it's not over here, then I don't know where it would be. I mean, the whole... I think I messed up. I was supposed to bring it towards me. I feel like there's gonna be something with that dang furnace. What if it was down here? What if I had to... No? Oh, I'm kicking myself. It would be right here. Be right above here. Like something right here. Strange. Well, gotta say, I don't know. Unless we can like crawl into one of the pipes, which I don't see happening. Shoot. Alright, I'm gonna persist, and when we're looking up some stuff, it might have something to do with that, but having another random TV in here with a fire on it, just asking to be fed to the furnace. It was in here, right? We found it in here amongst things. Alright. So we're back out here. If I look it up, it's just gonna break my heart because I don't think we were supposed to push back. Oh. Hidden spots. Wonder if there's any hidden locations on what would be on the like bottom sides of these, you know? Threshold points. Ritual impulse. I'm thinking like off of these. Something. Oh, hey. Something kind of hidden. Like when you're in the threshold points. Coolant pumps. This is all bottom level stuff too. So there is upper maintenance as a separate exploration thing that we're going to be doing. That shelter we had checked out. We checked out the elevator. So let's go around. Don't think there's anything that... I'm looking into the depths, the pits. Oh! I'm almost falling into them. We're not gonna go up, though. I am kind of tempted, but I think that's part of the kind of upper level, so we're gonna count that as a separate part of maintenance. Now, there is one more, the field training area, NCS converters still need to be... Actually, there's a whole lot of maintenance still left to explore. But as far as like this main area goes, I think we have seen the majority of it. That's where we came out of, which was the coolant pumps. So now we need to go over here. That's the energy converters or central maintenance. Let's go ahead and head central maintenance. I still feel like there's something over there. I just needed to pick the TV up and bring it towards me. Why did I launch it into nothing? Bathrooms. Okay, remember field training. There could be something else in the field training, so it might be worth trying to complete that again and just making sure. There's the elevator. There's another elevator through here, which gives us access. Field training, nothing in there. Yeah, let's go ahead and try to clear it. Because there could be more stuff in there that I missed.
Course starting in 5,
4, 3, 2, 1, go. As long as I can actually get it. Oh my goodness, it's the shooting. Why am I so bad at shooting? That's, yeah. So anyways, I don't think we're gonna get this. 45, get in my hand. Oh guys, it's GG. GG. I got 30 seconds remaining. Okay, grab the right thing. Do not mess up. There's one. Grab the right thing. Got it. 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Run, run, run. Get it, girl, get it, girl, get it, girl. We did it. We did it. We did it. Can I do that one again? All right, let's see if there's anything up here that I missed. There's weird noises happening in this area. Strange happenings. Nothing? Nothing. This is like a... This feels weird, right? But it doesn't seem like anything's there. There's a weird amount of hissing happening. Okay. Clear. Had to double check. Field training is done. We're not going towards the sector elevator, but just in case there's something up here. Look around here. Look around here. Clear. Blackrock processing. We did do most of that. I think the only other... No, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, because the other stuff is Atlas Chamber. Blackrock processing. I'll go ahead and head this way. Just because, again, there could be more things on the path instead of fast traveling. So yeah, we'll go ahead and check this out. Excuse me? Oh my goodness, look at that long neck. Let's just take care of this person. Taking care of business. I don't know why, I think it kept grabbing things. It kept grabbing bodies from the other side of the dang fencing or the gate. Nothing in here. Okay, that is the Blackrock processing over there. Yeah. Wow. Great. Good night. Turbine room. That's right, the turbine room. I'd almost forgotten about this. I wonder if there's anything we missed in here. Turbines. Line. Nothing down there. I guess not as necessary anymore now that you have your full flight capability. Turbines. I wouldn't put it past them to put some kind of hidden space up there. I wonder how we can stop those sets, because that's how we get across there. Which one does it stop? That stops middle. That stops top too. Okay, leave that right there. I want to see something. Oh, come on. Get me up. Get me up. Okay, try that again. Okay, this is not a secret area, but that was a good thought. Oh man. Close. I'll take it though. You. And return. And then we're back here. And that's where we need to go to do that. This takes us over there. A little bit on the scary side of things. And fall. Okay, let's go to Blackrock processing and then maybe Atlas Chamber. I think at Atlas Chamber, that's where we can fast travel back to the main elevator. And then I want us to start the next, yeah, I want us to start the next area. Look! And this is why we always go back.
Reminder, if the contents of your workspace have been rearranged, removed,
oh, we've been here. Yeah, because I just broke it.
Leave the area while speaking to yourself in a
I've been here.
This will not only keep
That's right. I just decided to bypass all of that by breaking things. Now I remember. And this is where we went over here. And then we went into there. Yep. And then we're gonna come out around by the Atlas Chamber. Look up, keep looking up. Oh yeah, this place. Yeah. Freaky. I think we did do a pretty good job at exploring this. Can you remove that stuff maybe? Probably down on the first floor. Oh, that little circle. So obnoxious. The hiss be corrupting. There we go. That's where we went to go see them. Let's open the shelter just in case. There must have been a file or something. It's like there's nothing in the shelter. Let's grab this. We saw that. More his spawning. Yeah, I don't think anything really in there. Sorry. Oh, I grabbed somebody else's grenade. I feel like the physics with this stuff makes a lot of sense. Like when I just tried to throw it right there was already objects in the way, and so it impacted it. Like it feels very believable. I don't know what these heat-seeking rockets are. But I'm tired of them. I'm tired and I'm scared. Okay, so from here we're gonna go back to Central. I think that was most of main maintenance. We do still have the upper maintenance area, so that will be like the next time I think we're kind of working through, because there's no way I'm getting both of these things done in one video. And so I think it's gonna be a lot of like work in progress, trying to find little things here and there and such. But let's go back and listen to our hotline too. We have to listen to the hotline that is from Alan. 23. Oh, 23. We can go ahead and clear anything extra that I have right now, if I have anything extra. Not too much. And get rid of that. Right. All right, before we do that, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. Let's take the sector elevator to the investigation sector. It is time. Well, it's almost time. We need to go to collections, then to the hotline, then to Wake. Are you guys ready?
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse FADEN could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. FADEN was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. FADEN paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. FADEN didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss, so it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away, and made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. FADEN sensed a drowning man, a man desperate to escape.
A signal.
She sensed something else too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance, waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. FADEN pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
Oh, I just got chills. I think I'll always have a very special place in my heart for Alan Wake because that was the very first of my entries into the Remedyverse. Wow. Okay, so that begs the there's so many thoughts and feelings and that just let's just let it play out. So he was writing into from the spiral door. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll be able to open that. The darkness. Oh, guys. Explore the investigation sector. Sector head office. Oh, there's so much to see. What do we... Oh, what? What do we have here? A shaded facet. I've never seen that asset before. This is maybe where we get those blips. Or the shifting something. Investigation.
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
Did he just write a new place within the house? That's how much power he has, is he could write an area into existence within the oldest house? Is that... What? Darling Investigation, compiled by Tim Spalder, Special Agent, by order of William Kirkland, Head of Investigations. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Internal Investigation D084-5 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, Head of Research. Despite the accounts of anonymous blank regarding inhumane treatment of a blank currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of blank sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such blank contained there. One blank confirmed the blank's codename to be blank, but all files pertaining to the name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were simply blocked from entering the blank. Research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into blank research. Refer to file.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the Bureau.
Yeah, but also, I guess this is the internal oversight that Casey. Wait, what? To our Dennis from D. Gleason, possible lead on the Wake case. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent, Nightingale? From an FBI agent asking for our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the interagency. Wait, what if it's the FBI agent from the second one? Okay, I need to slow down. I still don't know a lot. Okay, I'm getting excited when I make connections. All right. Specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all of the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote about is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. Maybe not maybe whoever, well, that can't be the real FBI agent's name. That had to have been a cover when they called over. They had to have given that for the dramatization or, you know, whatever it is, but that has to be somebody else. Or it's Alan Wake using Alex Casey. You know how he can write some things into existence from reality and create like signals between thin fibers in the worlds and dimensions and everything? Maybe he's still leaving some signs that he's actively trying to come back for the real world. I don't know. Blank 2017. Mr. Kirkland. Here are the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor. Researcher Ezra Cruz. Agent Caroline Dempsey. Agent Lindsay Malcolm. Agent Charles Murray. Agent Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the fire break. They're lost, I'm afraid. There's so much to discover here. Why are there those kind of lights here? And what the heck happened here? We need to turn the lights back on in this place. Is that the power generator? We need to find another place to power this up. More files. Tractor supplement. Polaris. Polaris is guiding me. Burrow tractor. Seen not acquired. Miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Burrow, male, Caucasian. Case summary: 33-year-old man found dead on his property, per police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings include blunt force injuries to the head, lacerations on the left ear and cheek, blunt force injuries to the extremities, dislocation of a right knee, complete avulsion on the right upper extremity with associated fracture of a proximal right humerus, extensive trauma, abdominal region, complete avulsion of multiple organs, including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from the scene. Conclusion. It is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident, as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with an animal attack. Yeah. That's particularly concerning. Resignation letter. Blank of blank 2019. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's blank. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our blank, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the blank loose inside. Blank loose? I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that fire break. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The blank has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. The director? Sincerely, William Kirkland. Isn't Kirkland the brand at Costco? Is that why my brain keeps going? I'm like, Kirkland! Okay, yeah. Staffing issue. Mr. Dennis. So yes, there is an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for the other departments after Kirkland quit, Dr. Hartman. We're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all of the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowded situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. Mr. Dennis, we heard that name in another one too. Fire break sector. There's more up there, but there's also... This was blocked off. Why? There's so many files. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE, like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. Miles Morales. Okay, we didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams, like you suspected. Teams? But I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of that ordinary case. But that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off, and maybe get the comms guys to start working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Kino. Fragile boxes, too? What was happening here? Oh, we can get the power restored. Okay, let's work on getting the power restored for more lights, y'all. I don't think... Do you think I need to grab this and put it over here? Let's try that. I've only seen one of these so far, so we'll start with this one and then go from there. This might just open the door to somewhere.
Now that gate should open.
Oh, it's for the gate. It was for the gate, not the lights. I guess some of the lights are working, but then something else happened. Ethics investigation. Patricia Lewis, Special Agent. William Kirkland, Head of Investigations. Official findings report. The Prime Candidate Program. Internal and confidential. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. The legality of the Prime? Okay. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic blank and blank. Blank were brought into the oldest house and placed under blank. Examination and testing with the aim of appointing one of as director upon maturity. Dylan, the candidates. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic blank of paranaturally inclined blank. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human blank. This investigations team unequivocally blank the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be blank immediately. I'm assuming recommends that it be disbanded. The more that I'm... The more that I'm happy to read, the more I'm tripping up on things. There's so much information that they're giving us. United States map. The tractor, the borough tractor. This is the procedures and then the supplement. We got both of them. Item is not in bureau custody. None known. A Frank Elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill. When last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unmanned locomotion, considered highly aggressive and dangerous. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of the Burrow Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Of course it's Texas. Local authorities arrived on the scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communication staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Do you think the tractor was in love with Mrs. Burrow, then therefore saw them fight and thought that it was doing what was best for her and killed her husband? Was this a tractor's lover quarrel? Cauldron Lake update to Chief Investigator Dennis. It happened again. 3rd time this year. Something certainly has it out for our blank. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough. But why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of reoccurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Center station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on blank lake, Cauldron Lake, if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their information with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this blank hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't exactly take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estevez. So they were keeping a constant eye on it since everything happened with Alan. Sector head office. There might have been an interim, but they hadn't even removed the plaque yet. So that must have been so recent. Holy readings. Okay. Look, I like my fair share of readings, but oh my goodness, talk about a fire hose of information right now. I like the helmet. There should be a spacesuit, an astronaut suit. Trench official warning. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. The hiss had definitely gotten to him by this point. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, Director of Federal Bureau of Control. There we go. The drawl. Director Investigation. By order of William Kirkland, Head of Investigations. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, blank was launched into the blank of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent charge in blank witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive blank when blank with other staff had been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. This was when things were starting to change for him. Notable blank between Director Trench and Dr. Darling tension has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing and the blank kept inside. Object power. However, no evidence exists to confirm Dr. Trench's blank as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any blank, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Refer to file blank for full report. Wow. quite the office. Oh, okay. It wasn't a reading. It was an item. My sassy pants were on there. Just not. Underhill background. Agent Lisa Keenum, external investigator, by order of William Kirkland. Dr. Raya Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with the focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist, stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations. I didn't even think about paracriminal. What? Or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as coworkers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. I thought him and Emily had something. What? Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. What? I did not sense that. I mean, I guess, well, there was tension. Maybe it was sexual tension I was picking up on. I thought it was just tension, but yeah. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer to Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. See report 7-08-5286 for full report. Wow. These things do happen. I guess that's kind of willingly signing up to eat where you crap. I don't know. There's something there. Same vending machines. But wait, there's more. Specimen escape assessment. Okay, yeah, they keep talking about the specimen, and Trench was not happy with them for it. Incident number A49, internal confidential. There are so many confidential files just lying all over the place. Like, the house wants me to find it as director. The purpose of internal investigations X-039-7 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in the death of blank agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the blank of blank, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive blank. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found, only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. 1, the air filters were changed, and 2, an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Wake entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. See interview hashtag number 65-F-124. Wow, I really just showed my age there. That's got to be Alice Wake. Air filters were changed, and an hour prior to the incident, Alice Wake shows up here. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Mrs. Wake's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the blank. Investigation is still ongoing. What specimen? I'm trying to think of Alan Wake 1. What specimen? When they were investigating, what do you think they came across?
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Specimen, wow, we're only just at the sector head, guys. Wow. Something from Alan Wake that they would have stumbled upon. Flashlight, no. Typewriter, no. I don't know. Dang, I don't know. Agent Tim Spalder, Remy Dennis Chief Investigator. The Blessed Organization Paracriminal Profile. This group or individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of the past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered items case, the BP, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. That must have been where they created Blessed Pictures, Bless. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object power case, perhaps even creating it. No, this has been even longer. I see what they're saying here. You had Blessed Pictures, then you had a person called Chester Bless, then you had Blessed Repair. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization. Blessed. See report. Para-utilitarian. Para-criminal. Ready? Me turning around like that?
Do we know each other? This feels familiar.
The spiral.
I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you?
Whoa.
Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration.
What?
You need a drink.
It's weird to see Dr. Darling there, all things considered. Wow, the spiral door is kind of, it reminds me of the Night Springs. I don't know, with
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I see it.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
What?
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
I mean, he's been stuck here, right? But
Thomas Zane was with him.
But looked like him.
The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Wait, but everybody remembers him as a poet. I'm so confused. I thought he was a poet. I didn't think he was a filmmaker. I thought he was a diver. I thought... What? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, is that how Thomas Zane knew about the light to give to Alan? Is what if it's all Alan and Alan's another version of this one person? My brain's gonna explode. That's what's gonna happen. Did we ever see, like, I guess we never saw Thomas Zane. We just always assumed that he was another person. But Thomas Zane could be Alan, but a different version of Alan. The same way that there's a Mr. Scratch out there too. Could it be that Alan's just like a fractured person and there's multiple parts, and it's like a fractured artist that has multiple parts and multiple entities and has been around for a long time? And I don't know. Nothing follows the rules of logic in these games, and I am gonna explode. Traverse the Ocean View Motel. So that's mine. That's like the way that I look at this is almost like each of these is a different dimension within the Remedy verse, essentially. But you've got Alan Wake with the spiral, the tornado. You've got Control over here. I don't know. The red. The upside. But I don't know what these would pertain to, but I'm like, and every once in a while they overlap in some way at this motel, and this motel is where it all begins every single time. It's like the mind map of, I don't know, of Sam Lake or something. Everything's back to being normal. And the casino, New York City. Okay. Music. I guess I have to turn everything off. Now there's something on in here. The machine. Can you turn it back on? No, once you turn it off, you turn it off. Wait, but now the colors are changing. Okay, I don't like that. The key. This feels more like the darkness, right? I don't know, something about the light shifting. This feels more like the...
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could. Lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. A resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Something once corrupted by the darkness could then be twisted by the hiss? I don't know.
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate.
Yeah.
The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC.
That's what it was.
Brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed
thing.
everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
His corrupted darkness entity? What, like, but it makes sense. If there had been one before, why could there not be another one? Like, honestly, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, what if Alan is behind one of these doors? What if they're not dimensions, but like worlds that he's created? What if he's the author of Control? And Control is the result of him writing within the darkness and the story. And each time he's writing a story, trying to figure out where he can come out, where he can come back to reality. But I keep going back to this and I'm like, okay, they did mention that Alan could be sensitive to or being a para-utilitarian, right? But I'm also wondering, I know we never really talked about this. We talked about objects of power, places of power, but again, like there's not a whole lot of conversation about people of power. And obviously with Jessie, she's got this Polaris entity within her as well. So you've got prime candidates and stuff, but what if this is all just, a lot of this is from the creations and the works of Alan Wake. And even Jessie is a character created by Alan. Like all of this universe and everything is written and only existent. But like also at the same time, like I can believe that the darkness exists at the same time the Hiss would. If the darkness exists and the Hiss exists, who's to say like what other, there's going to always be another entity that is twisted or different or dark. I mean, if there's one, why would there not be more? It looks almost like Alan. I hate that every time I think there's gonna be a jump scare. We're through. It cleared it. We get to go past. We haven't even begun, guys. This is not a DLC. This is an expansion. Like this is, I mean, this is a whole nother area. Wow. Okay. I think with that in mind, with how much like we are, this is out of the frying pan into the fire. This is just the beginning. So I think that what I'd like to do is put a pin in it here. We've seen the beginning, and that way we can keep all of this next chapter. I would love to keep this whole next chapter in its own little containment, its own little space. So I think this is a really good place to pause, because wow, this is going to be amazing. There is so much that I have so many wild thoughts and ideas with Alan, but I know I need to see more, and this is such a cool way to transition over into Alan Wake 2 as well. I just think that this was a fantastic choice to do before we head over into that direction. I know that there's a second expansion DLC as well, so that one we'll take on afterwards too, as we continue to explore the Bureau. But this game, this universe, this world, it's brilliant, and I just can't wait to continue to dive into it with you guys. So thank you for coming along with me again. I know I keep saying that, but I get so giddy with games. They keep the excitement, the curiosity alive in me, and it's just really cool to get to share that with people that also love games and love these games. And I've appreciated a lot of the insights that you guys have provided and the tips and everything. And so with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, YouTube.